all set up here. I'm not sure if things are improving at all. I think we've also resolved it. Well, we have no choice but to really see it out no matter what happens. Got back with the thing. It's a lot part of like this short notice, really. Like, I got a meeting Thursday. Well, we can't do anything that soon, but here's some numbers. Back to collecting phone numbers. I'm also looking into, unfortunately, rental assistance. I'm not taking the applications until the 11th. So, but definitely looking into that and so at least take care of some of the past due bill. And also put in a feeler to the I think it's the Colorado Poverty, something or other. Maybe the application I was able to go into a little bit of detail. My right eye is doing its usual. What? Well, I'm streaming. You ate earlier. Hold on. Let me get the game fired up first. Ow. Let me just get the screen up here first. I'm on a close-up on my ocular problems. Oh, now my subtitle's back. What the hell? This is weird. All right. I did see an article about a review, really, of a book by a journalist who's looking into the damage, the wholesale just damage of gender ideology done to her, the kids of her peer group. And one thing, there's a quote that, from a psychologist told her, if you are truly suffering from gender dysphoria disorder, the last thing you want to do is show someone your genitals. Yeah, post the link on X with tag into Indy with that quote, which means that you're not suffering from the fact that you're doing what you're doing. It shows that no, you ain't you. You got other stuff going on. I'm not saying you're fine, but gender dysphoria ain't it. There's other issues that need to be addressed, and you're not addressing them. You're hiding. You're using this gender, this trans thing as a shield to hide from it. Sooner or later, you're going to have to actually face up to it and see what the hell's going on. I'm only volunteering myself to talk. If I need someone to talk to, not necessarily in a professional setting, but you need to talk to somebody in a professional setting. And the link is right up on top of the description there. Well, I'm not right on top. What is it? Let me check. Yeah, right after the turning point link, they're saying if you're looking for some therapy that's actually based in reality, ebtseattle.com. It's evidence-based therapies. They have guys who specialize in the what's called dialectical behavior therapy. One of the things about it is like they do not ask about trans or sexuality. They deal with the issues you are dealing with, all the stuff you're not dealing with. No, they're interested in treating the cause, not the symptom. And again, I'm pretty sure you ain't doing it. Because if you were, you would not be doing half the shit you're doing now. And I think that's all for me. Maybe that'll be all I got to do. But it's like, it's an effective distraction from my own problems right now. In that's the case, I can't feel. In my case, I feel like I'm at the owl. Like I got no choice but to stay in the fight because we can't go anywhere. There is no place for us to go to and no one to take us in. We don't even have a vehicle to live in. No, this is it. We're it. Let's see if I have to relaunch it. If I do that, then I'll pause them when I want to get stuff something to eat. Ow, God. Have to check that out. And watch Mojo thing. Like 10 YouTubers tried to come back into being banned. That's one thing. I've been cited a few times. Never been actually banned. Where are we, YouTube? Okay, one on YouTube, one on Twitch. Okay, that's a new one. Or I might as well do on Twitch. What the hell? I'm hearing music. That doesn't mean anything. It's not the usual music, though. Can you hear that? Yeah, pretty much. Okay, well, let me get that going here. And then stuff connected to the game. Let me throw up a video here. Oh, God. My eye is fighting me here. Hold on. Uh, this is 20 minutes. The whole thing about the Star Trek fans. It's, like I said, okay. Before we move on to the current state of Star Trek right now and what JJ and Kurtzman have brought to us, let's take a step back here and try and get a better foot of where we're coming from. It's not, and again, to really understand Star Trek, a big part of it is also understanding Star Trek fans and why some iterations work and some don't. Because one thing, Star Trek fans have always been considered some of the savviest fans around. We know the ins and outs of the show. We know why things are done certain ways. Mainly because of the seminal books as the making of Star Trek. It doesn't take it from, well, Captain Kirk. No, it's a Bible on just making a TV show. Any show. You gotta. I suggest you read that book now if you're planning on doing things. Technology's changed, but the process really hasn't. Putting together a pilot, putting in a script, and assembling a crew. It's basic stuff. And again, at least up until recently, again, Star Trek fans have been considered the small. What's going on? You can't bullshit us. And we're not just ready to swallow anything and everything that's got a Star Trek label on it. We are going to ask questions. Fans back in the day were sending letters in asking why the transporter platform flash 2 times in that episode, 3 times in another episode, and then 4 times in another. We kept track of this from the very beginning. And this is a very dedicated bunch of fans, and they came out of existing sci-fi fandom. There had been some movies at that point, but a lot of literary sci-fi fans. These are very brainy people, okay? I mean, we're talking the mid-'60s. Sci-fi at that point on TV. You wanted the smart stuff, we're talking Outer Limits or Twilight Zone. The continuing series stuff was really kiddie stuff. Lost in Space, that's what CBS went for. And all the Irwin Allen stuff, it's like really more action-oriented, not much character, not much plot. Sometimes attacking the sea view, fight ensues. That's your plot. And even going back to early sci-fi stuff like Tom Corbett, Space Cadet, Space Patrol, Rocky Jones, Space Ranger. It's like, not very often did you get into really heady stuff. It's a lot of stuff for the kids. There. It's dry again. So when Star Trek came along, it was a bit of a godsend. Harlan Ellison was an ardent fan, an ardent supporter of it. I'm a fan. I didn't all I saw was the 2 pilots, but he was one of the guests of honor at Tricon. And since in Cleveland, the World Science Fiction Convention that year, '66. And Roddenberry, that was the convention Roddenberry took the 2 pilots to and grabbed some costumes and went out and made his pitch because the show was premiering in a few weeks. It was like August or so when the con was, and it's like he was nervous about getting some reaction, some fans, because he wanted to know what his audience was. And someone mentioned the convention, he grabbed stuff, his work print of the cage, what he had, what the version of the Where No Man Has Gone before at that point, and hey, book me to Cleveland. And he got standing ovation. It's like we ran the first pilot, and it's, hey, you got any more? Well, I got this other thing, and they ran the cage, and reaction was just as big. And from that point on, it's like everyone was talking about this Star Trek thing, this Roddenberry guy. It was also where he first met B. Joe Trimble. He managed to work the Irish charm and cajole her into it, because at first it was like, what's a Gene Roddenberry? But, no, we worked a long hard. We're not going to let some Hollywood guy win, but he came in, worked it in, and suddenly Star Trek was the talk of the convention. And the fan base was built. A lot of it came from the SCA, Society for Creative Anachronism. These are the medieval reenactor type thing, that see them at Renfest all the time. They're the ones who, and the SCA is still a very big organization. And you got a lot of this, fandom is a very big crossover thing. Nobody is really a fan of just one thing. Like, looking over here, I had a half dozen sonic screwdrivers. I got blasters mixed in with my phasers, and the lightsabers back here. And somewhere I've got, a Farscape, pistol. We're all over the place. We don't just select the one thing. And so, one of the most ardent supporters early on were SCA members. And that kind of alarmed people when the protests started going down to local stations, and these people are showing up dressed, not many people had Star Trek costumes at that point, so they're showing up in their SCA garb, which was armor and swords, and looking like a bunch of barbarians ready to storm the castle. So this is the kind of fans you're talking about, who built the fandom, and who wrote those letters and protested outside of KNDC in Burbank, because they liked what they saw. In the end, NBC was aware that the whole thing about demographics, they knew who the audience was. They knew it was mostly college students and kids, and I think where the messed up was they didn't quite appreciate where the actual spending dollar was going, where the most of the spending in the market was. I think when thinking of, and it was about 1970 they realized, no, it's really the 18 to 34 males, college guys, And that's when they were, okay, yeah, maybe we were a little hasty on Star Trek. But, what's done is done. And history goes on from there. But that is one of the reasons why there's such a fight over Kurtzman Trek and the stuff going on, because a lot of it doesn't match. And that's more than just saying, well, we screwed up in this point. No, it's a lot of it is deliberate and malicious. It's like they've got some kind of grudge against Star Trek. The whacked out what game we're going to do it our way. Screw you. It's like, well, our way got us over 50 years. What's your stuff done? You're about to run the thing into the dirt. Because a franchise that attacks its own fans is doomed. And Star Trek is now at that point. They are openly attacking their own fans. It was bad enough when they're just being critical and saying, no, we know what we're doing. Leave us alone, little fanboy. And just that kind of dismissive reaction is what torpedoed Nemesis. Because we don't like being talked down to, especially when a lot of us have been here long enough to say, you guys wouldn't have a job if it wasn't for us. And let's kind of remind them of that. And again, they have very little effect as far as Enterprise go at the time. So the next best thing was, okay, well, you don't like it? Well, we're going to torpedo your movie. And that's the thing. You can't just, say Nemesis died because it was a bad movie. It was a bad movie. But that's not what killed it. Because even Star Trek V won the weekend, like I said in the previous one. It was when it realized this kind of stunk. That's when it went down. But Nemesis never even opened. Because the blood was that, the bad blood was there. It's like, really, you don't think we think we're just bug splats on the windshield of Voyager? Well, fuck you. We're gonna, we'll see how big bug splats are. And Nemesis just didn't even open. This thing, it got a total of $19 million opening weekend, which is pathetic. I'm pretty sure even without adjusting for inflation, the motion picture did better than that. Every movie did better than that. And again, even just for inflation, is even more pathetic. There's basically most people just stayed home. It's like, we ain't going. It's like, maybe later, if it's a good movie, will come out. But for opening weekend, no. Other movie studios moved their openings to account for Star Trek because they didn't want to get squashed by Star Trek. Pretty much a given that Star Trek movie is going to win the opening weekend. So I think it's Harry Potter was coming. They moved, a bunch of movies, big, fantasy, genre tempo movies moved their dates because they didn't want to get stuck with the Star Trek. And then what happens? Star Trek Nemesis comes out and it gets beaten by a J-Lo rom-com. That made people sit up and pay attention because, okay, at least the ones who knew how it works. So, people say, well, I guess the franchise fatigue set in. No, bad franchise fatigue set in. That's something students still can't quite figure out. No, it's not just, we're tired of the product. We're tired of it being bad. But that's what I'm saying. It's like, and now, after all these years of Kurtzman and JJ setting up the thing and then Kurtzman running with it, we're now at a point where the revenues dropped off so much and they've spent so damn much on this thing that they had to sell out to Skydance. Yeah, unlike Desilu, it was the most popular year Desilu had in years when they sold to Gulf Western. Paramount has been bleeding money. And a lot of it was the gobs of money they spent on Star Trek. Just Kurtzman spent, he wasn't spending like drunken sailors. He was like an entire drunken task force. Keep forgetting to unmute there. And then yelling at the wife about groceries. Yeah, you want to see the rest of that? It's on the channel. It's under in the History of Star Trek playlist. So consider that an effective tease. All right, now let's go ahead and bring this game back up. And also along those lines, JJ Trek 4 is now officially canceled. So that's it. No more of those. So step one in restoring the Star Trek franchise has begun. All right. Wow. How do I go off camera for this? Because you don't need to see me, doing a Popeye routine here. Like, no, all right. Ooh, search the rare chest of Mr. Burns' place. Or just search of Mr. Burns' mystery box. Those are all over the place. Pistols or sniper rifles, or epic or better. So I can find an epic pistol. There we go. God damn. I hate when it does this. Let's see. Milestones. Let's just chug them on along. Ow, God. Okay, I could do a lot more of Mr. Blasty. Ow. Ow, 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 ow. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna go on camera. This is not terribly dignified. I'm not sure if like a hair constantly poking in the eye or what, but damn it. This does hurt. But yeah, that bit about the SCA being early component of fandom. I was like, one of the things about the SCA is that if something is not period, like you're supposed to be a character from a certain year and you're sporting gear that wasn't that around then, they'll get nailed for it. I remember I was in the SCA for a while. I mean, my membership was kind of lapsed. But it was out in California. Kaid. Kingdom of Kaid. One guy in our local group, though, didn't quite get the memo regarding kilts. His was like a micro mini skirt. It's like, no, it's supposed to go down to your knee, asshole. We thank God that your ugly ass, so you're covering the crotch, but just barely. I mean, it was like, Like, you ever been to a kind of a theme bar called the Tilted Kilt? That's the kind of kilt he was wearing. Oh, this was years before that, though. But it's like, what the hell? Get out of the damn way. What the hell? Where are we? And I'm sure people have talked to that you need a longer kilt there, Sparky. I mean, no one wants to see your ass. Okay. Yeah, you get points for that. Okay. All right. Let's see what we got here now. Striker or suppressed? Let's go with the striker for a while. Striker. There we go. All right. Okay, let's... Yeah. What? What's that again? Okay. All right. Might want to throw in 2 more breakfast bowls too. All right. Yeah, because we're out of pickles. Fine. Yeah. Oh. And actually, I do need to get a pistol here. That one quest. That'll do it from my end, yeah. As far as I'm concerned. Okay. Blue, yellow, orange. That is critical. Blue, yellow, orange. What? How early? Oh, Jesus. Fine. This is Mr. Burns' office. Oh, shit. Okay. How's the damn control room? God damn vulture! Fucker! Asshole! Let's good look here. Okay, so we got that. That's not a problem. Okay. Ugh. I finally found a spot where I can put some of this roach killing gel out on pot, and they kept okay. Here, like going here. Here we go. They've been hitting it. Hopefully, it finally does the trick. And maybe we can kill off the roaches ourselves. I'll give him like 2 or 3 days to prep this place, and it takes a week. Okay. Oh, come on! What the hell was that about? Fine. Starter from the damn lobby, you weasels. Well, we got 4 people on X, 1 on YouTube, and 1 on Twitch. Check something here. Do we get all the description links on Twitch? I'm not a part of their partner program. I got no way of getting that way. So the only way to get any money on that one is if they, the links are there. They know they're not on X. You have to go on YouTube to see the description. Let's get a look at Twitch here. Make sure there is some real, realistic reason to run on Twitch in the first place. Oh, God. Okay, it's trying to load. All the stuff we learned about how these things work. Can we scroll down? Come on. There's an about thing. Okay. There's nothing and no description there, so yeah. So yeah. So yeah, for links in the description, that's on the YouTube feed. No descriptions there. As usual, PayPal, Patreon, subscribe stars on there. You can buy me a coffee. Yeah. Let's see what I got here. Ow, God. Got one to claim. Okay, well, let's take care of this. Got a wrap on that one. Nothing in here, so we got to get a little more out of the way first. We might as well wrap up the Marge stuff here. Any hints as to next up? Yeah, second peels. But won't know that until the 11th. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's see where we're at now. Okay, let's just get in there. See what happens. Unicorn flakes. They showed the unicorn vomiting up a rainbow. Nothing. If you happen to have that skin and this built-in emote, go and play it through. The lyrics are very disturbing. Starts off typical kind of jingle thing, but turns very quickly into somebody help me. Like, talking about being possessed by some kind of demonic force. Kind of feel sorry for the poor little gay unicorn. Because the fabulousness comes with a curse. Okay. Alright, what do we got here? I see the message for it. Yeah. Nope, this one again. Supposedly you can, once this thing finally reses up, you can kind of make out the auto silhouette there. So that's enough. That's going to take forever. So. What the hell? That's Spawn Island. They're not going to do that. Trying to land on Spawn Island is instant death, apparently. The hell? I'm not sure how to take this. Did I just get... That was bizarre. Okay, yeah. Honor between marges, I guess? I don't know. Did I get in a duos match? Okay. I am concerned we're going to get nailed for teaming because this is kind of illegal. Just Top 5 Gaming. This is pretty much a very faithful recreation of the Season 1 Der Burger. Cell shaded form. City council meeting, I guess. Okay, anyway. Huh. No, I'm going. All right. So let's see what we got here. Huh. I gotta get a lot more people with Mr. Blasty. Come on. Okay. I mean, it's a nice change of pace, but this is, could get us both in trouble here. So they're trying to get clear. I'm really not with this person, you know. Okay. I'm not hearing the footsteps, so I think the other Marge got knocked out. Which is fine by me, frankly. It was a little creepy. Again, it was a nice change of pace, but still. Hmm. Well, only the Simpsons couch can you sit on. And next time we get a team thing, we're going to make sure we find the Simpsons house and all four of us sit on the couch. Because a funny thing happens. Actually, no, it needs to be Mr. Blasty. Let's slow down there. All right, we're past halfway point on Mr. Blasty there. I mean, yeah, you're not supposed to team up and thing, but I didn't want to shoot the guy. I was being nice. Okay. You don't find that very often in these solo games. Okay. Did he think he was doing the Lulu match or something? Alright. So we got all these guys. Ow, goddamn. It's a little bit. You can see the corner of the screen. Alright. Oh. Milestones and weekly. Where's the... Oh yeah, so I gotta find a Boston emote near them, or try to talk to them. Alright, well, jump on in there. I started to do a little better, but not much. Alright. Alright. Let's go and hit Mr. Burns' manor, release the hounds, and hopefully be able to take out a few guards and be able to take him secure the radio station. Okay. Equip a weapon. All right. Have to pick up a weapon. All right, let's get these things a little more. There you are. What? It went what? Well, it double clicked on me. Well, that was a little too easy. There better be a lot of gold in here. All right, tell you what. These are dumb. Is there any more around here? Oh, still got more. I'm not seeing any more hounds. Yeah. Uh-huh. Hold on, I'm getting... Son of a bitch. Let's get out of here. Okay. Hold on. Let's see. Who's watching on what? I got 4 on X and 2 on Twitch. And nobody on YouTube. Let's see. Do a quick. First, let's. Let's see if we can get to the. Nope, not yet. So let's go ahead. Get Witch March out of the way. Ow, God. Now let's see if that opened up. Not yet. So we're working on that one for a while. Ow, god damn it, my eye. Let me do a quick look. That was cute. I'm still streaming. What do you think I'm doing? What? Don't worry about it. I'll get it later. Let's see. Yes, another thing to picking up on that Star Trek 4 from the JJ verse is not happening. Okay. Ow. All right. Secure KBB. No. God damn it. All right, let's see. Get out of that. Okay. Okay, so I'm getting there'll be some wandering guards out there. So. All right. So it's like the weather stations, you know, and other things. You got to be out there. So let's see. Where is that station? Well, let's get in there. Let's see the towers. I see the station. Oh, God. All right. And as we established, the guards are pretty easy to take out. Well, coming at some of these. This is an international game. Some of these how-to videos have got serious accents. Normally, they're not a problem for me, but it's like sometimes I can't listen to this anymore. It's just too much. Yeah. All right, come on. Of course, there's a problem. I'll be back in a second here while I deal with this bowl that I'm in. Freaking hell. Damn it. Sometimes the cord can be too long. Christ. Shut down finally, yeah. Oh. Okay. Let's get back to it. Now, I wonder how much is the shutdown affecting our situation, too. They're needing people in here who are not on Section 8, so. You can go ahead and pay full freight on it. And we are looking into another round of rental assistance, too. So apparently, it hasn't been for a couple years, and I think it's been a couple years. Since we won't do it, I'll give it a shot. It's also separate. I think it's also a separate program. We did the emergency rental assistance thing during the lockdowns and COVID happiness. And this is a different program which we've never applied to, so even better. If we get that and clear out the back rent we still owe this joint, that would probably smooth over a lot too. All right, and there's the station. Now in search of the wandering dogs. Well, there. No, something else. Take that before someone gets hurt. Whoops. Already loaded. Okay. Need to find Wandering Dog Patrol. Apparently the breakable glass is so popular, it's going to be going on to future things. I don't know what KBBL stands for, but K-Babble? Hmm. All right. All righty. And one more. Go with this one. All right. And that's what happens when you actually complete the damn thing. Let's go ahead. Okay, so now we found Chief Wiggum's office. Corn, squirrel, radiation. I don't know what the store is for. All right. Well, this was rude. And so much for your wearing the head of the statue there. Okay, there's a car. The little blow lights in there, that's the doggy. What the hell? Not really good that, did you? Crusty? Damn it. Go out here. Let's get on in here. No V-Bucks yet, so. So you gotta start working on Blinky here. Blinky stick. Check again. Not yet. One more and then we'll open it. Okay. Got one more daily to do. Let's see where it is that station. It's in running distance of Donut. I think that's it there. Okay, so. Hmm. And Candace Owens needs help. Okay, let's. Ow, goddamn. Find some other channel I'm more used to. Okay. God. Is that this? I think it is. Yeah, it is. For some reason, I was thinking it was closer to the Burns place, but I think it's because of the dogs. Do it. Let's. I'm up here first. Up here. Ow. Jeez, I think my eye's starting to even out. That. Yeah. Ow, God, my eye. Not that. Where are those damn guards? Okay, something just.
How you doing in there?
Well, except for my right eye bugging the hell out of me, I'm doing okay. Well, there we go. Die already. God damn. Damn you, die already, bitch, you're interfering. That's what I need. Alright, that's what that's all about. I still gotta do Mr. Blasty somewhere. So. Whoa! Alright, ow. Motherfucker. Dickhead. What? that. Hold on. All right, so we finally got the radio station secured. Who's got that out of the way? Oh, God. All right. I think might just wrap it up at that point here. So we still got to do one more before we get in there. So let's do. Yeah, get that out of the way. And we are a ways from level up again. So did we get the dailies out of the way? One daily left, but I'm not going to worry about it at this point because my eyes bother me so much, it's really distracting me. And we've already been at it for over an hour and a half, and I'm going longer than that. So we'll declare victor that I managed to figure out how to secure the station. So tomorrow is when things get weird. So we will see what happens. Hopefully, the front office at the Foothills Regional Housing will talk to the property manager here and talk. He's lawyering up, so back off or something. I think to make it clear, I'm not going to be rolling over here. Okay. Don't have any choice. We got no way to go. What the fuck am I supposed to do? Okay. So let's take a look here. Who's on what now? We got 5 people on X, one on Twitch, nobody on YouTube. I'll tell you what, pop over to the YouTube feed on this one. I ended up, and the links will still be there. That's why they're in the description. I don't bother doing it in chat. But nobody's in chat. No one said a damn thing here. 6 people watching. No one says anything. And first 2 days of this thing, I have like 50 people watching. And the stupid thing crashed anyway. All right. But on that, I think we will go ahead and wrap it here. Hopefully I won't be bothering tomorrow. We'll still be here tomorrow. We'll talk